Rat Race. Story by Tamera Bryant. Illustrations by Stephen Aitken. Chapter 1. New Kid. It was the first day of school. Across the schoolyard, kids lingered in groups of 2, 3, and 4, talking and laughing. Charles, Spike, and Coop were together as usual. The three of them had been friends since kindergarten. They lived within a few blocks of each other, and they knew everything and everybody in the neighborhood. Spike's real name was Jerome, but nobody called him that. Even his mom called him Spike now. Nobody could remember when or how it started, but the name just seemed to fit. Coop had a real name too, Malcolm. His mom and dad still called him by that name, but hardly anyone else did. He got his nickname from his uncle, sort of. The name started out as Scoop, from when Malcolm was small enough for any grown-up to scoop him up and carry him. But Malcolm couldn't pronounce his S's when he was little. He always said Coop instead of Scoop, and the name just stuck, even after he grew into the tallest kid in 5th grade. Charles was Charles, and if anyone gave him a nickname, it would probably be Mr. Charles. It didn't matter if you were talking about basketball or fast thinking, geometry, or finding a way out of trouble, he was always the one to beat. There were still at least 5 minutes until the doors would open to the school building. Then Spike and Coop would go to Ms. Henderson's room, and Charles would go to Mr. Jackson's. They were disappointed that they didn't get the same teacher, but they were already making plans to get together after school. At 3:30, Charles said, we meet right here and then go to the park for some basketball. You got it, Coop answered. We meet at 3:30, right here. Spike was too busy studying something behind Charles to answer. Instead, he pointed at a Hispanic boy several feet away. The kid looked like he was about the same age as Charles, Spike, and Coop, 12. The boys frowned, and Spike said, "Not another one. Where'd he come from?" "What's he doing here? He probably don't even speak English," Coop chimed in. "Ha! He wouldn't have to be too good at it to be as good as you," Spike gave a light punch to Coop's gut. "Keep it up, man," Coop said, "and I'll show you who's good at what." Spike cowered down and waved his hands around his head as he called out, "Help me, I'm scared," in a high falsetto voice. Coop couldn't help it. He laughed. "Why you guys always want to be stupid like that?" Charles asked. "Stupid? No, man," Spike said. "That's stupid." He motioned back toward the new kid who was talking to Danielle. The kid's hands were busily acting out whatever he was talking about. As Charles, Coop, and Spike watched, he crouched down and then spun around slowly, moving one hand up toward the sky, and then he rose to his tiptoes, still reaching up until he couldn't reach any higher. Danielle was following every move. "Oh, man!" Spike laughed. "He's a ballerina!" The three friends laughed out loud. "I wonder where he keeps his tutu," Charles said. "Why is Danielle talking to him?" Spike asked. "You know Danielle, she talks to everybody," Coop answered. "Yeah, she's too nice. I hope he doesn't ask her to dance," Charles said. The three of them were still laughing when the bell rang, signaling that it was time to go into the building. The doors opened and everyone moved toward them. Charles, Spike, and Coop pushed up as close to Danielle and the new kid as they could. Spike, in a voice much louder than usual, said, "Hey, why do Mexicans have refried beans?" Danielle walked faster, trying to shove the new kid ahead and distance them both from the boys. "I don't know. Why do Mexicans have refried beans?" Charles repeated, also in a loud voice. "Have you ever heard of a Mexican doing anything right the first time?" With that, Spike let out a howl. Some of the other kids laughed out loud. The new kid turned and gave Spike a threatening look, but then he spied one of the teachers out of the corner of his eye and decided it was best to keep moving into the building. He didn't want trouble on his first day of school. Once inside the building, the new kid quickly separated from the boys. Danielle was right behind him, saying, "Don't let them get to you. Ignore them, and they'll go away." A minute later, Danielle was in Charles's face. "Why are you guys so mean?" she demanded. "What are you talking about? You know we're just playing." Charles gave her his best smile. "It doesn't feel like playing. Why don't you pick on each other?" "We do," Charles argued.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?